Okay, let me give you a few pointers on how to map the vase on 3D Studio Max. First of all, let's apply the modifier and go to UV Coordinates and Unwrap. While opening the UV editor, you're going to notice that there's pretty much nothing still. You have that shape there. So what we want to do next is go and start a selection. Okay, so I'm going to start from the bottom, trying to map, try to select the polygons from there. Let's go and put the wireframe on shaded so that we can see. Instead of shaded edge faces, there we go. Let's take a look. Let's select all the polygons on the bottom side of the vase. Okay, and the idea is that now we're going to use the grow selection option, which is over here, to continue moving up. What grow does is whatever you had selected, it will select whatever is adjacent right next to it. So I'm just going to keep going until I reach this top edge on at the top of the vase. Okay, we might have, okay, right there it went over. If you notice, it went over. So I'm going to then here start selecting and deselecting manually. Okay, let me add this on the top. This is where I want to stop. The reason is that there is a second level of geometry on the inner side. You see that the inner side is not selected. So what we want to map is the outer part first to make it easier, and whatever's left we can always map it, or if it's not going to be seen by the camera, you don't really need to map it. Okay, so let me deselect these. Okay, I'm holding the Alt key to deselect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cylindrical projection over here. And I'm going to make sure that that cylindrical projection, if you notice, the scene is tilted. If you notice, the projection is sideways. So what I'm going to do is align it with the y-axis so that it is lined up with the surface of the body of the vase. Okay. Let's go to the inside, to the UV editor again, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so there you have it. Make sure that before moving somewhere else, you deselect the projection, the cylindrical projection. Okay, and let's move this to the side. And if you notice, there are still other areas here. This is the inner part of the vase that we're going to map next. So let's go on the bottom again and select those faces again. And remember, we're working on the unwrap, not on the actual mesh. Okay? So I'm holding Control, and I'm going to do a planar projection this time. So we're going to have a planar projection for this part and then a cylindrical projection for the outer part. Let's turn that off. And let's see how it looks on the UV editor. It looks great. Now we have the bottom part of the vase mapped. The next part will be to get the bottom part, which is an inside part that is also there at the very bottom. I don't know why this geometry has inside and outside geometry, but if you see this, it's kind of irrelevant to have two bottoms there, one inside and one outside, because if the camera is not going to see it, we don't need it. So let's make another planar projection, and let's go back to the UV editor and let's take a look. It looks great. We need to turn off the projection so that we can do anything, otherwise you won't be able to do anything else. Okay, when we come back, we're going to map the other side of the vase.